Hello, Bill Molyneux here with Bill's History World, and I have Goober the Traveling Bear. And today we are at Fort Washington Park, and we're across the Potomac River from Mount Vernon. There's a lot to see here at this park. We have the James Battery, we have the Lattery Battery, we have the Soldiers Barracks, the Officers Quarters, Smith's Battery, and we should be here for the entire day or more. So Goober and I will be traveling, and I'll be doing snippets of all these different sections of this fort, including the old Endicott gun batteries, which are really cool, of the Spanish-American War era. I hope you watch this whole video, and we have beautiful weather and no wind. All right, well, we are walking up to the fort, and there's a lot to see here, and I'm hoping the wind won't be too bad. So we are coming up to the gate. We'll pause here. Okay. And we'll pause here for a moment. All right, well, just passed a nice family with little children, which is great to see. We are now, look at that, there's the Potomac River. For those of you that will never get to this fort and this historic site, such as Jim O'Neill in Scotland and Jack Brendel in Arizona, I hope you'll enjoy this video. And we are now going to enter the fortifications. And so the gate doors would be run by the pulleys. And here we have a park sign for the main gateway. Two sets of gates protected the main entrance, or Sally Port, during the improvements made in the 1840s. The drawbridge was added to make the approach to the gates more difficult. The drawbridge was operated by a unique system of iron counterweights. The entrance, also guarded by cannons, 13 guns mounted on parapets, covered the approaches to the gateway. All right. Now, my friends, well, I consider them my friends, Bob Studi, Park Ranger Bob Studi, and Park Ranger Robert Ambrose that run Fort Frederick. I told them that we will see if this fort is as cool as theirs. All right. We are just exploring. I would think this is a guard room. So this would probably be the guard room. And they have a fireplace. And I presume this is the other guard room. So we have we have a fireplace here, stove. There's an ammunition chest. Holy cow, I'm gonna go in here, I don't know. What is in here? I'm gonna say that is an ammunition magazine. I honestly don't know, or it does have bars on it. It could be a jail. Well, I've not seen a park ranger yet to ask questions, but well, that definitely looks like a fireplace back there. So I'm gonna think this could be jails rather than ammunition. All right, you know, I did not hit the gate And the gates are very sturdy. And so they could have the main gates closed, and then they have the mini gate. The little door here would allow soldiers to pass through without having to open the large gate. And as we read earlier, there's two gates. And here's the first one, followed by the second gate. All right, I'm gonna do, we got some wind coming up, so I might be re-editing the audio on these. I'm gonna do a pan from left to right. And then we'll, all right, let's go check out the, all right, I am standing above the gatehouse that we just walked in. And it is so cool up here. Full access, just can't climb on the outer walls. And we have the access to that bastion down there. This fort is incredible. If you've never been here, this is a must-see place. And over here is where the gun would be to defend the gate. Now, I'm going to pause the camera to go back down the stairs. All right, here we have, I'm going to show you one of the flanking bastions or gun battery sections to defend the gate. So here the artillery would be mounted. You can see the positions here. And then what would happen is, if we did have an enemy approaching, trying to get into the front gate, you're being fired on by the flanks. So very, very difficult. Besides the forward firing guns, you have cannons firing on the flanks also. I think I could run hours of video here and someone would be bored. So we're just going to keep trying to do snippets and tie them all together. We're going to go and see what's in this building. All right, until I get to the visitor center, I can't really tell you what some of these buildings are. I'm going to think this is an officer's quarters, or, you know, I'm just guessing. So until I get a pamphlet, I'm just winging it. We do have a mountain howitzer, I believe, and it's been fired recently in a demonstration, it looks like. Still covered in wax from being cleaned. Very cool. All right, we'll proceed to the next building and then we'll circle back to those ramparts. All right, the Caparine. During the 1840s, improvements were made to this wall defensively. The weakest part of the fort, the parapet, was raised for an outer work called the Caparine. It was added to protect the passageway to your left, which led to the outer works that mounted 4 howitzers and chambered ahead. All right, and it says we can still go into it. Here we go. And yes, Goober the Traveling Bear is with me. All right. I don't know what the video quality of this will be like. And yes, this is darn spooky. I'm not doing a lot of audio because it's echoing. I have no idea what it'll sound like in here. Holy cow, this is cool as cool. So our artillery piece would be run out here. Let's get a view if we can. Very cool. All right. And then the powder magazine is here with the forward gun. Get a look at the top. And gotta say, this is cool. It's really nice that they've left all of this open to be explored by historians. Now I'm going to pause the camera to go back up the stairs. All right, well, we're going to walk to the level that we were under. We're going to walk to the level of the top. And by the way, I don't know if I'm pronouncing Caparoon or whatever it is correctly. So this is that defensive position that defends this outer wall. So it defends this wall here. Okay. Believe it or not, this is quite the walk up here. So I guess our next thing to visit is that building over there. So let's head in that direction. I'll head back down the ramp and we'll pause. All right, well, we've moved up to this building and there are park ranger vehicles all over and they're checking, there are signs all over too, but we're gonna go into this building first. All right, so this is set up, it looks like Garrison for the American Civil War. They have one fireplace there. And we have a fireplace over here. We have a cart to bring in firewood. And it's really cool. Okay. Now we have no interpreters here. That's okay, we are at the top of this building on the balcony. Beautiful view, but it also gives you a view of the artillery pieces that were used here. And I'll do a close-up of them. And then the bastions, the Potomac River, and you'll see Washington across the Potomac, and the gun batteries. And what is nice about being here is we are really the only people at Fort Washington. So Goober is Colonel Goober today, in charge of the fort, along with myself. And we're gonna go and check out another interior bastion. I wouldn't be surprised as time progresses, some of these will be closed permanently due to age and safety reasons. So let's get them on video while we can. All right, let's go check out some more of the inner workings of Fort Washington and where the go. All right, we're at the end of our porch of the second story, and we're gonna go into these bastions here, and we'll also get a view of this top parapet. I'm thinking that's a magazine. We're gonna pause the camera so I don't trip going down the stairs. I'm gonna think this is a magazine, but believe it or not, I've yet to meet up.
They call it here the cistern.
All right, all right, the cisterns, they need water. So we have, looks like 4 of them, these little white dots. And one would be right there. And this is the powder magazine. And the powder magazine is closed at the moment. So we cannot go into the powder magazine, it looks like. We will attempt to go down the stairs. And I hope you're enjoying this video. Holy cow. What did I find here? And the gate is open. And, well, I gather that's a Sally port to go outside. That is darn cool. The things you see on Bill's History World with Goober the Traveling Bear. And moving up closer, we're going to try to look out the door. And yes, that is the way outside. It's one of these Sally ports. That is darn cool. All right, we're going into another bastion. They have this little wooden thing to walk on. And to give you the full effect, I'm videoing me walking down this wooden ramp. So, also there's some poison ivy at this park, so please be aware of that. This is so cool. Now, to be allowed to go into these rooms is just fantastic. We're going to get another picture of this gun porthole, and they have a fireplace. Pause the camera for a moment. I hear some noise. Well, I'm hearing some noise, and oh my gosh, it's Goober the Traveling Bear. How in the world did he find this place here? And he, of course, seems to be caught in the bars of this room. All right, well, all right, we're in the parade ground. We have come out of the, I guess the last magazine battery, or magazine, and I don't have a brochure, so I'm really winging it. So someone out there can leave comments. So we're at the counter scrap battery. You are here, and along the outer wall of the ditch you see the outer scrap battery, named for its location of the outer wall with a dry ditch. Alright, I'm gonna pause the camera and walk up along this wall and get video at the up at the other end. As I walk along these outer walls, I see that the inner batteries are actually open with a staircase. So we're going to go and investigate them next. But first I'll get a view of the Potomac River. And from this corner, and there is a sign up here. So I'll pause the camera, we'll get up to that point. All right, well, we're doing a quick pan of the Potomac. Yeah. Okay, there is Mount Vernon, way out there. And we have our Potomac River. And there is another Endicott battery. They are all over the fort area to defend against the Spanish, and actually the Germans a little bit probably. And these are the outer walls here. And I paused the camera for a moment. Okay, we're over here at the shot and shell. Fort Washington's solid masonry walls offered good protection against shot from smoothbore cannon of the early 19th century. When rifle artillery was introduced in the late 1850s and used during the Civil War, effectiveness of masonry structures decreased. The new weapons fired projectiles that fit the bore tightly and were given a stabilizing spin with grooves in the barrel. These improvements gave the rifled guns a longer range, accuracy, and hitting power, nearly 3 times greater than smoothbore cannon. Here we picture Fort Pulaski just riddled by rifled artillery. So in a very short time, it made these stone and brick fortifications obsolete, and that's when you went with the big piles of dirt. All right, everyone, stay with Bill and Goober the Traveling Bear. We're going to go down into the depths of the fort. All right, we're going to swing around. Before we go down, there are literally now no tourists at all. The one fellow that was here has just left. There's no park rangers and there's no interpreters. So I'm really on my own. I'm gonna guess these are artillery pieces that were here at the fort. So we have a 12-pounder. This 12-pounder is really interesting. It has some really neat markings on it. It has an American eagle, some flourishes. I'm almost thinking this is more of a, I don't see any dates on it, a Mexican War era tube. I wish I had Robert Ambrose, park ranger from Fort Frederick, or Bob Studi with me. And I don't know what size cannons these are. I do know that is a Parrott gun with the reinforced breech, but it's a big Parrott gun. I'm gonna say it's a, I don't know, a 40-pounder maybe. All right, I'm gonna pause the camera. We'll head down the stairs. I'm gonna turn the camera off for this. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera off, but I just want you to know there's one heck of a lot of stairs. And this is what it looks like right now, and everything is open. So we'll pause here as I go down the stairs. Okay, I'm at ground level. I don't know how bad the audio is. Some of these gun bastions are sealed off and some are open. And I'm also being watchful for snakes. Well, so here is one of the gun ports. And this parade ground is so cool. It's, I gotta say, probably 40 feet up. You know, I'm guessing. And another one. Now, I'm not walking directly in these. All I have is a stuffed bear myself, and there's not a single person at this fort. The last thing I want to do is I have not seen a snake at all. But God forbid I got bit by one. I'm out here all alone. So now here's the barracks. I'm gathering this is, the men would stay in this one, the gun crews. And there is a ventilation going up. I don't know if that's for fire. I don't see a fireplace. And again, other historians that watch this video, leave comments, because, you know, I'm just winging it. I don't have a brochure. I'm pretty confident that these are gun battery You have cannons in each of these. All right, we have another one over here. And when you do come here, there is a little bit of poison ivy here and there. So be aware of that. And okay, Goober gives this place more than 2 paws up at the moment. We're going to go back up the stairs and hit some more of the fort going out. And to give you a view, if you're wearing a lot of wool and leather cartridge box and so forth, these stairs must have been really difficult. All right, let's continue our travels. I'm going up the stairs. Okay, I made it to the top. I'm old, I'm very chubby, and it's 90 degrees out, and I made it. We're gonna go check out these cannons down here next. I'll pause the camera. This is the water battery, and you are here. All right, magazines, stored ammunition, storehouse, gun carriages in peacetime, stables housed workhorses, shot furnace, and it's a 15-inch Rodman. Ricocheting fire. Guns and water batteries could ricochet or bounce, shot across the river surface and hit a ship near the waterline, causing severe hull damage. All right, let's go take a look at the 15-inch Rodman on a beautiful carriage. And it's really sad to see people carving their names and stuff in a beautiful historical gun. It looks like it's been recently painted and upgraded, and it's just sad, but we'll move on. The gun would roll back on these wheels. The men could use the wheels to move the gun forward, backwards, and it's on this trail so it could pivot, which is really neat. And for a field of fire, we're going to stand up here on one so the gun could pivot left or right. And there are so many buildings here at this site, and there's another, and so many gun batteries. I'd say if you're a real history nerd, you could spend an entire day exploring all the different sites here. And oh my gosh, I just ran across this. I'm going to turn the camera off. We'll see what goes down. What's down there. Okay, Echo Land. The doors are locked, and so that goes out to the front of the fort as a sally port. So you could send infantry out there if needed to the front of the fort. And we're going to head back up. It is so cool exploring this fort. Many of these things are open, so you're just not getting to view the outer works, but the inner workings. Now this is a 12-pounder Napoleon. I'm going to think that they use this made in Massachusetts. It's very clean, and I see some wax on it. I think they're using this for demonstrations, probably on Saturdays. Okay, we're going to do some more exploring. We're going to see if the bookstore is open. And there's another level going up. And all these walkways are open. And all right, here we are at the Northwest Demi Bastion. And casemates saw other uses, Longinus. We'd have all kinds of things down there. Now, I already did one of these casemate videos, and it's 90 degrees, and I've just got my breath back, so I'm not going down into another one. But right now we are gonna go explore more of the fort and see what else is around the fort. We have a lot of Endicott batteries. One of the things that's so cool here is I'm literally the only tourist with Goober the Traveling Bear. We had one gentleman, but he left. All right, we're gonna see if the bookstore is open. And let's see. All right, we'll pause the camera here. Well, the bookstore was closed. And I hope everyone understands that I've really did the best I could without a pamphlet. I didn't print out a package of information because when I do these tours, I normally talk to a park ranger, interview them, and also get some pamphlets. But we couldn't do that today because we haven't seen a park ranger yet today. They are busy doing. Hello, Bill Molyneux here with Goober the Traveling Bear, and we give Fort Washington 2 thumbs up. We've explored the entire fort grounds. There is so much to see here. You need to come and visit Fort Washington. It's a national park located in Maryland, and Goober says 2 paws up. So thank you, stay safe, be kind, be courteous, please subscribe and share my videos.